Hello everyone and welcome to another demo, and today I'm going to be showing you an end-to-end solution that is solely based on Agentic AI that really facilitates the process of expense reporting. Well, we're going to do it against an SAP Business One system, and I'm going to be showing you how we can tremendously facilitate the process and help both organizations and employees to streamline the process of expense reporting using Agentic AI. Without any further ado, let's just go ahead and take a look. We're going to start with some basic settings. So let's go to the business partner master data, and I'm going to be typing in my business partner code, and in this case it shows my name and it shows that my account is of type the type of business is of type employee, which is a prerequisite when it comes to expense reporting in SAP Business One. So that's the first thing we would want to do. So we have an account. The first thing that happens if we try to manually create an AP invoice, the system will ask us to select an expense type. So if you want to, for example, say I'm going to describe an expense, for example, dinner, business, and I'm going to type in a unit price, for example, and we can see here that we have a column that says expense type. So if we further drill down, we can see that we can create different types of expenses depending on what we have in our organization. So this is something that we would want to consider right away before we get started. And I just wanted you to see how it looks like when it's done directly within the SAP Business One client. But that's not the purpose of today's video. Today's video is to show you how we can streamline the process when we're using external applications, in our case Microsoft Teams, to want to report these expenses. So let's just open up Teams, and I have my SAP Business One multi-purpose agent here. And what I can do here is basically go ahead and directly type a request. I would like to report an expense. And I'm going to let the agent to reply back. And the agent asks me to upload receipts. So I'm going to do it in two ways. There's two ways to do it, two approaches. The first one is, of course, if we're sitting, if we're working, we're sitting against at our desks and we want to use the desktop application, the Teams desktop application. So we will normally go ahead and attach a file, and we're going to go to the desktop, and I'm going to select a receipt. In this case, I'm just going to show you the receipt really quickly so you can see it's a very, very normal standard receipt. In this case, it's in German. We can, of course, do that in any language, but in this case, it's a receipt that I took a picture of. And I'm going to just select that one. That one is a picture, and I'm going to say enter, and I'm going to let the agent think a little bit. It's now processing that image, and I will soon see the results of that image. Let's just wait for a couple more seconds. And as I can see, I just got here the entire receipt being rendered onto the screen. Let's just open the receipt. We can see the total amount. We can see the items on the receipt. We can see the VAT. We can see some other descriptions as to the services provided. So we can see that also the agent was able to infer that the expense type is of type entertainment expenses, because this is a receipt that was issued by a bowling center, and that falls under entertainment expenses. So we can see that all the information is being rendered onto the screen. The first thing that I've shown you within SAP Business One is that we have the employee code. The employee code in this case would be the business partner card number, and we expect all the employees to remember their own employee codes. But let's, for example, assume that I do not remember, and I'm gonna type something that is wrong. So I know that this code does not exist in my Business One system, so I'm just going to type it and going to submit it for approval. We're going to get a validation against Business One, and I'm expecting it to tell me that this code doesn't exist. So we do see that we get an employee code that does not exist in SAP Business One. We're gonna type in the real business partner code in this case. And that was my card number. I get a second chance, and I can see that I was recognized. It recognizes my name, and now I'm expecting it to be reported in SAP Business One. But before that, we can also apply an approval process, and the approval process can take place within SAP Business One. It can also take place on an email. In this case, I do see that I got an email, and I can, of course, be the CFO or the manager or the supervisor who approves those requests, and that jumps right away to my inbox. So I can, in this case, either approve or deny, and in this case, I just want to type in some comments. This is where I would usually write something if, for example, I choose not to approve the expense, so I would want to write some comments. So I'm doing it straight in the email body, as you can see. So I have all the information coming from the receipt, and then I can hit submit here, and I'm expecting everything to get into SAP Business One. And as you can see, the email changed, and I get an expense invoice 1104 that has been submitted. We can go straight to Business One. We can, of course, go to the purchasing and then AP invoice. And if you go to last record 1104, we can see our invoice. We can see the comments that are being sent to the remarks area. We can also go and check out the lines. We can see, if you remember, I told you about the expense type, so it rightly inferred the correct expense type, which is entertainment expenses. So we can also do GL account determination. If we want to do any advanced GL account determination, we can definitely cover that as well. And the AI will basically read the content of the invoice. It will infer about the right type of service provided, and then it will choose the right expense code in Business One, which will also give you the right way of doing the accounting. We also see the attachment here. So the attachment was also pushed into Business One, and we can go ahead and also, we can also take a look here and see that we have the receipt that's being sent. Great. So now we've seen an image. Let's go and do the same thing with a PDF. We can also, I would like to submit another expense. We can, of course, upload multiple files. Here I have a typo here. We can of course use multiple files when we do this, but in this case I'm just doing this individually just to show you. So I will go ahead and attach. This time I'm going to go and attach a PDF, and this PDF is basically an invoice. I just took a random invoice. Let me show you the invoice. Where is it? It's here. Let me show. It's just an invoice that I got for a SIM card. I want to see how the AI handles this. So I'm going to go and say submit. And we're going to let the AI take its course and do all the calculations and all the necessary chunking of the document. Everything is done in Teams. We don't really need to do much. We can just drop the receipt and go back to our work. And as we can see, we got an immediate response. Let's just check it out. Since this is the first time actually posting that receipt, let's just see if all the information has been correctly rendered onto the screen. So we do have the description of the service. We have the total amount here, which let's go ahead and see it. So we see that the total amount is correct. We have, okay, so yeah, it falls under travel expenses. Well, travel expenses is pretty much how I would classify this expense. So it looks pretty good. We look in pretty good shape. We have the right description of the product. And I'm just going to go and type in my employee code. I'm going to submit for approval. And I just want to see that it correctly identifies me, and it identifies me as the employee, which is great. And then we can go ahead and we can go and check out our emails. And we did get an email here asking us to basically report it. I'm going to hit submit, and I was able to report another invoice. Let's go to business one. And there it is. We can see here that we have the travel expenses selected. And we have all that information. Here we have the PDF attached. Perfect. So now let's say that I would like to not use my desktop application for Teams. Maybe I want to use my mobile phone and upload a receipt. So let's just take a look and see how it goes when we do this straight off our iPhones or Android devices. So I'm going to go and open up Teams, and I'm just going to go ahead and say I would like to scan receipt. And I'm being requested to upload a receipt. In this case, I'm going to just go ahead and take a picture of some random receipt that I have here, and I'm going to upload it straight off my device to Teams. So I'm just taking a picture here, as you can see. The quality is not that good, so we're taking a look and seeing how it goes. So I've submitted the receipt. And I'm allowing the agent to analyze that picture that's being uploaded from my iPhone to Teams. And I get the card. Let's see if this is really the correct one. I'm gonna quickly check my receipt. Let's see. This is our receipt. So we can see that the total amount is 57.20. We can see that we have some VAT applied. We can see that we have a bunch of products here. Let's see if we okay, we got an error, but in this case I'm just gonna see. It looks okay to me in terms of the items. So let's just try to submit my employee code here and submit it for approval. Let's see if we really got an error or it was just something random. We can, yeah, so I can see that even now it's basically submitting everything for approval, and I'm expecting an incoming email, and here it is. And I can see that I have my invoice here with entertainment expenses and all the other information that's been reported. I will say approved. And submit. And we have another invoice. As you can see, that invoice was being fed to the agent through my iPhone, through my camera, so I can also use the web version of Teams and report my expenses straight to Teams. We can go again to Business One. We can go to the next record. We can see that we have the entire invoice being posted. Also the attachment here with that receipt that I've just scanned in Teams. So I hope you found this demo useful, and I hope you can draw some inspiration as to what you can do in your organizations to facilitate the process of expense reporting for your employees and streamline the entire end-to-end scenario, where you can also involve third parties like a CFO or a supervisor who need to approve expenses and also be part of this process and take part of it proactively. So thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for the next videos. Thank you so much.